Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We warmly welcome you to the market opening ceremony as we celebrate today the debut trading of Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited. The shares of Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited would be listed on the main board of the Colombo Stock Exchange and will be classified under consumer finance sector. Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited was established in 2010 by one of Sri Lanka's oldest continuing social movements, known as the Sarvodaya Shramadana movement. The purpose was to support undeserved rural economies and grassroots entrepreneurship in Sri Lanka that represented communities deemed non-bankable by formal financial institutions. As the financial arm of the Sarvodaya movement, SDF is the only finance company in Sri Lanka owned by a community development organization. SDF fulfills its mission to foster sustainable development by providing not only a range of financial services, but also by conducting educational programs on marketing, business management, and other subject matters, especially by organizing marketing and promotional events targeting small and medium enterprises from all parts of the country. Unlike traditional financial service providers, 80% of SDF branches are located outside the Western Province to enable financial services to low and middle income population. Today, while targeting SMEs as its primary customer segment, SDF also caters to 48% of non-bankable community in Sri Lanka by delivering financial facility to approximately 435,000 citizens. SDF has also partnered up with 5,400 Sarvodaya Shramadana societies in villages across Sri Lanka to channel development funds deep into the grassroots. This listing follows a remarkable initial public offering with an oversubscription within the first day of its offer. As we congratulate the company on a successful IPO, we thank you for joining us today. To commence the proceedings this morning, we present the official corporate videos of the Colombo Stock Exchange and Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited.
Banking on the entrepreneurial spirit of the Sri Lankan people, the Colombo Stock Exchange builds on a share trading tradition that has existed in Sri Lanka for over a century. The business of share trading that commenced with plantation companies in 1896 continues to thrive today as a matured and vibrant stock market that mobilizes capital flows of over 300 billion rupees a year.
After 35 years of the stock exchange, we have leveraged on the combined experience and expertise of the industry to leapfrog on multiple fronts. As we look towards a possible re-rating of the market upwards, what is on the cards are major infrastructure developments, new product introductions, widening of the investor base, building a sustainable business model, and most importantly, working with the government and the regulator to position the CSE as a pivotal point for capital raising.
The CSE in its present form began in 1985 when the Colombo Securities Exchange Guarantee Limited was incorporated as a company limited by guarantee formed by 7 stockbroker firms. Today, as the operator of the stock market in Sri Lanka, we offer state-of-the-art pre-trade, trade and post-trade platforms. Our stakeholder base also includes the regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, 285 companies, over 700,000 local and foreign institutional and individual investors, 150 members of staff of the stock exchange, and other market intermediaries who go and make up the ecosystem of the Sri Lankan capital market.
Stock exchange operations around the globe have evolved significantly over the past 35 years, and so has the CSE. Our trading operations, which started with an open outcry system and investors visiting the public trading floor, today is delivered through a state-of-the-art multi-asset class automated trading system and a central depository system. To mark its 35th anniversary year, CSE has engaged in a drive to digitalize all stakeholder touchpoints in the stock market, enabling end-to-end connectivity electronically.
CSE over the years have invested in technology because we understand a robust, secure and cutting-edge technology is the backbone of a modern exchange. Today, our IT systems and infrastructure supports a sustainable business model by securing processing transactions, generating accurate and real-time market data, and offering speedy, convenience, reliable access to the market users. We have also focused strengthening our information and cybersecurity and building internal capabilities to support the market-wide digitization strategy.
Establishing regulatory readiness to navigate through a Sri Lankan business landscape that has changed substantially since CSE was first established has been a material focus.
Regulation must evolve to support the development plan or the development strategy of the exchange, and that is something that we have always followed. Compared to the inception of the Colombo Stock Exchange 35 years ago, we have been able to transform our listing framework to make it really attractive for issuers to come and raise capital by listing their securities through the Colombo Stock Exchange. And for this purpose, we have been able to diversify our listing platforms and listing boards, giving them various listing options to benefit. In terms of overall regulation, our focus has always been investor protection, creating and maintaining a fair and orderly market, and also facilitating capital formation.
As we celebrate 35 years, the CSE has taken decisive steps to diversify from a single product market to one that offers multiple products. Real estate investment trusts, the creation of an OTC market for repos on corporate debt, trading of gold products, and stock borrowing and lending are already in the process of being introduced. On the regulatory and governance fronts, the new SEC Act, we believe, will be an important development covering regulatory changes required to continue to safeguard investor rights.
The investor base in the Sri Lankan stock market has grown steadily over the last 35 years, and measures taken by CSE to increase the retail investor base and foreign investment fund flows rapidly to create a vibrant securities market have been focused and consistent. We have used multiple strategies to attract local and foreign investors. End-to-end digitalization is helping us to widen the local investor base. The Invest Sri Lanka series has been effective in taking the message of our stock market and opportunities globally, and in attracting foreign fund flows into the country. As we look ahead, CSE envisions to play a competitive role and be among the leading regional markets, harnessing our key strengths of the established infrastructure and the reputation built over 35 years.
Over the last 35 years, we have evolved, we have changed, we have developed. But one thing that remains unchanged is our focus on maintaining the integrity and the quality of the market.
We will continue our journey towards success, and we value our stakeholders whose confidence in us stood unaltered. I would like to recognize the role played by our listed companies, our investors, and all market intermediaries who placed confidence in the CSE over the past 35 years. I also recognize the untiring efforts of board members, present and past, as well as the CSE staff, including those who served previously.
Colombo's Stock Exchange, a transformative past, a vibrant future.
pleased to invite our first speaker this morning, Mr. Dumit Fernando, the Chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange, to deliver the welcome remarks of the ceremony.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, let me recognize some special guests here today. The Chairman of the Sarvodaya Development Finance, Mr. Channa De Silva, CEO of Sarvodaya Development Finance, Mr. Nilantha Jayanetti, the Chairman of Sarvodaya Talavila Society, Mr. Nilmal Mar Singha, Chairman and Managing Director of the Dollar Corporation, Dr. T. Senthilvale, Managing Director and Group CEO of Janashakti Group, Mr. Ramesh Shafter, the CEO of the Managers to the Issue, NDB Investment Bank, Mr. Darshan Pereira and his team, Mr. Rajiv Bandaranaike, CEO of the Colombo Stock Exchange, and the management team and friends. Today, we are very pleased to welcome Sarvodaya Development Finance, a trusted Sri Lankan brand, to join the Colombo Stock Exchange. As you saw in that brief video about the company, I think the company has had an exceptional track record of growth over the last few years and has shown readiness to be a listed company, as evidenced by its transparency and governance through its award-winning annual reports as well. So I don't think this will be a very difficult transition for Sarvodaya Development Finance to become a listed company here. Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited, which is part of the Sarvodaya movement in Sri Lanka, is the first impact investment opportunity to come to the public market. And we are confident that this will provide an investment opportunity for investors to participate in creating social and economic value across communities in Sri Lanka. Sarvodaya Development Finance, or SDF, is a dynamic financial services provider focusing on the SME segment, and particularly in SME development finance, operating via a modern digital platform that contributes towards narrowing the digital divide in finance and furthering financial inclusion in the country. As you saw, it was recognized as the fastest growing development finance company in Sri Lanka at the UK-based Global Banking and Financial Review Awards this year. Sarvodaya has built a strong brand and has a franchise of over 5,400 societies. The firm focuses on rural entrepreneurs and in this country, and SDF offers products ranging from microfinance loans to SME loans and leasing. Elevating and supporting SMEs, who play a dominant role in Sri Lanka's economy, is also a key focus of the Colombo Stock Exchange. Therefore, we are pleased to see companies such as SDF coming forward to ensure the support given to SMEs is maintained and improved. And we also do hope that many SMEs supported by SDF will end up on our Empower board, hopefully, as part of our push towards more SME listings. The listing of this company is followed by a successful IPO, which was oversubscribed on the very first day, thereby maintaining the track record of the CSE this year, where every single IPO has been oversubscribed on the very first day. The interest received from the public for the IPO indicates investor interest not just in equity markets, but in the interest in diversifying the exposures in the equity market, which through its impact nature of SDF, we are today introduced to a very new and different type of asset class for investors to participate in. This year has been a significant year, as you all know, for the Colombo Stock Exchange. We have raised over 100 billion rupees through 11 IPOs. This is the 8th equity listing to be introduced. And as I mentioned earlier, many of these, or all of these, have been oversubscribed on the first day. And it is heartening to note that SDF is launching a very large 1 billion rupee IPO to come to market. The company's achievements as well as the CSE's achievements show a great convergence as we end the year of showing the trust and confidence that the CSE has brought to the investor community and the capital market by providing a vibrant platform for capital raising. We welcome, in closing, I would like to welcome Sarvodaya Development Finance again to the privileged list of companies that can now be considered listed companies in this country. And I wish you success and future growth in everything you do, and we hope that we can continue to be a venue for further capital raising needs as well. Thank you, and I wish you a very good day.
Thank you, Mr. Fernando. May I now kindly invite Mr. Channa De Silva, Chairman of Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited, to share the remarks on behalf of the company.
Good morning to all. Mr. Dumit Fernando, Rajiva Bandaranaike, Renuka, and our dear friends at the Colombo Stock Exchange, Dr. Senthilwe, Ramesh Shaft, NDB team, the Sarvodaya representation from the villagers, everyone who is present here, NDBIB, Darshan and his team, and everyone. It's a great pleasure and a privilege for me to be part of this journey because we are representing the rural villages of Sri Lanka. So our team mainly comprising of the village societies led by Mr. Marasinghe and the ladies and everyone coming from the villages. Today we'll be ringing the bell for the first time, I think. Village society is taking part in a CSE bell ringing ceremony, and I'll be very happy to be part of that contingent. Dr. A.T.R. Ratna, 50 years ago, 62 years ago to be precise, started the Sarvodaya movement. Midstream, he realized empowering the villagers through economic intervention was extremely valuable and required in the process of development. Thus, he started SEEDS. So SEEDS, which was Sarvodaya Economic Enterprise Division, was started 32 years ago with single-minded purpose to empower the villagers, and he did it with 100,000 rupees. Today, the 100,000 rupee book has grown to be exceeding 9 billion rupees, and we still travel with the single-minded pursuit of empowering the villagers. So there are a few features as the clock is running. I'll try and do it in 2 minutes. And that is to say, we are going to be very unique in the space that we operate. In microfinance space, in the villages, in the 5,300 villages we operate and which we want to expand further, we are certainly the most reasonable lender in the villages. We want to be the most valuable lender in the villages. Microfinance is a big business for others. For us, we are empowering people in our journey. While doing good, we will do well. The second aspect is every rupee Sarvodaya gets will go into empowering the villagers. This year alone, they have committed and deployed over 1 billion rupees to village development. Previous to this, the last 10 years, Sarvodaya deployed 6.5 billion rupees into village development activities. And thus, all the dividends and other things that they will get through this initiative will go straight into village development. So we can all be happy, 50% and more owners are putting all the dividends they get into village development. And we will empower the villagers. So it's a unique flavor we will bring into the market. And it's, as the chairman of the CSE said, it will be the first impact real investments coming in, empowering the Sri Lankan villagers. And we will be leading the process. So I'd like to thank the Colombo Stock Exchange, the chairman, Rajiva Bandaranaike, for his special encouragement and support he has given, Renuka, everyone, their teams here. Thank you very much for listening. I'd like to thank Dr. Senthilwe, Ramesh, NDBIB, and everyone who supported this. I'd like to thank all the broking fraternity who really rallied around us to support The village societies, 5,300 of them, they've all chipped into this. I thank each and every one of them. And in this journey, I hope and wish it'll be a very colorful, bright, a successful journey, which we can all be very proud of. Thank you very much for all your support, and wish the company and everyone, all the investors, the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. De Silva. We would now proceed to open the market, and I kindly invite onto the podium, representing Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited, Mr. Channa De Silva, Chairman, Mr. Nilantha Jayanetti, Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Senthivel, Chairman and Managing Director of Dollar Corporation, Mr. Ramesh Shafter, Managing Director, Group Chief Executive Officer of Janashakti Group, are the two of the largest shareholders of the Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited. Representing the Colombo Stock Exchange, Mr. Dumit Fernando, Mr. Rajiva Bandaranaike, and Mr. Renuka Vijayawardena. I would also like to invite Mr. Nimal Marasinghe, Chairman of Sarvodaya Thalavila Society, and Mr. Darshan Pereira, CEO of NDB Investment Banking Unit. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May I kindly invite Chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange, Mr. Dumit Fernando, and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Rajiva Bandaranaike, to present the listing certificate and a token of appreciation to the dignitaries. And I would like to invite Mr. Channa De Silva, Chairman of Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited, and Mr. Nilantha Jayanetti, CEO of Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited, to accept the listing certificate and the token. With that, we end today's market opening ceremony organized to celebrate the listing of Sarvodaya Development Finance Limited. I would like to thank our distinguished guests who graced this occasion. I wish you all a pleasant day.